You're listening to the latest. I'm Tammy Trujillo.
You're on board KCAA's Inland Talk Express. KCAA, Loma Linda, 1050 a.m., the station that leaves no listener behind.
Hello and welcome to the Real Men of Real Estate radio show. I'm your host, Patrick Franz, the Note Mentor. And when you tune into my show, you're going to learn how to build passive monthly cash flow and create true financial freedom by investing in mortgage notes. I mean, you're going to learn how to collect passive cash flow monthly from real estate without owning the real estate. Get that? Who wants to deal with tenants and termites and toilets and all the other troubles associated with being a landlord? And every time I do a show, folks, I plan to bring on amazing expert guests. Like my man, Aaron Halderman, that's on with me today. And, I want to bring these guests on because I want you folks to get as well-rounded of an education as you possibly can when it comes to how to utilize note investing as an investment vehicle and maybe set yourself free financially or leave a better financial legacy for your family. And so y'all folks know financial intelligence is what I preach and note investing is what I teach. And thank you for listening in today, folks. We have a really, really good show planned for you today because Aaron Halderman's a good buddy of mine and works with an individual retirement account company. Is directed IRA. And Aaron is going to drop some really great nuggets for you folks today on how you can utilize an individual retirement account and note investing to help your retirement and to help you build some really great wealth. And Aaron has vast experience with both, so it's going to be an amazing show. But before I bring Aaron on, let me just remind y'all that we're not lawyers, we're not investment instructors on this show. We're not giving legal or investment advice at all. This is opinions either from my life or my guest's life. This is real life experiences and opinions to be taken as such. And if you're ever going to do any type of investing out there, folks, we always recommend that you do seek legal counsel and that you do make sure that you're making the proper decisions out there because there is risk involved in everything in life, folks. The risk started when we were born, didn't it? Every day's a risk. But so seek legal advice if you're going to do any investing. And but let me bring you in, Aaron, and say thank you for spending some time to come on my show. I appreciate it. Aaron Halderman from Directed IRA. And we're going to talk a little bit about, Aaron, today, note investing, and again, why individual retirement accounts can really play a role in helping people build their wealth, and maybe the two together, right? So, you have been a note investor for a lot of years. You were heavy in the game before I even got into it. And so, if you could introduce yourself to the folks listening and then maybe give them a background of what led you into note investing and why do you think notes are cool?
Absolutely. Well, thanks so much, Patrick, for having me on. Always a pleasure to talk about some of the things that I love doing, both, personally and on the business front, and just sharing, my past experiences and current experiences of, real life examples, what worked, what might not have worked so well. So
I want guests like you on here. I want guests like you on here because you do it. That's the thing. You do it. You're in the trenches. You've done a lot in notes. You're now doing a lot in the IRA space, and you're a doer. And that's who I want on here. So trust me, folks. Aaron's going to give you no fluff. He's been through it all and he's seen it all.
So I guess it's funny how things like come full circle. I was first introduced to note investing back in 2009. And it was through the self-directed IRA space, which I really didn't know at the time. and we can get into a little bit more later on like what that actually means. So I was in a mastermind group. I love investing in myself, continuing education. I grew up in Texas originally. I went to Arizona State University, studied math and science, got my undergraduate degree in biology. Was planning on going to med school, but my senior year in college, we had our first child already, my wife and and I was a little burnt out. I was getting up about 5 a.m., working until about 1 in the afternoon, going to school from about 3 o'clock to 7 or 8 o'clock, 3 to 4 days a week. And then I would study until about midnight. And I was just pretty burnt. So I figured, well, maybe I'll take a year before we up and move. I sent in my applications for med school. The company I was working for at the time, there was only like 9 or 10 of us, and it was a software company. Um, and the CEO of the company approached me and said, "Hey, I understand you're want to go full time, take some, or you want to take a year off before you go back to school." And he's like, "Why don't you come work full time with us, and I'll give you some penny stock options." And I was like, "I don't, okay, like how much are you going to pay me though?" Because I didn't, I didn't really understand the penny stock options or what that meant. And now, mind you, this was back in what, 2004, 2005, so quite a while ago. Anyways, long story short, I ended up staying with that software company for 7 years, and that penny stock turned into $9 to $12 a share, and we were able to have a liquidity event as employees having stock. And so that got me into the real estate space. And like any good student of wanting to just learn more, do more, I just invested in myself. I bought home study courses and decided to join a coaching group, which I love. And one of the guys in the coaching group, he was the son of the founder of a self-directed IRA company. He invited me to go to his one of their annual conferences, and at that point was introduced to the note space, because there was half a dozen or so speakers talking about lending, discounted notes, note investing. They had all these kind of weird words. I felt like I was in a Wall Street room for like note investing, real estate investing, with all these new acronyms. So anyways, I was very intrigued by it. So I bought pretty much every single course that was offered. One of them had a 3-day workshop, so I did that as well. And I just learned, like Patrick, how you introduced the show at the beginning, like investing in stuff that be a lien lord versus a landlord, investing in stuff that doesn't require dealing with tenants. Of course, you do miss out on the equity side, but I was like, I'm also intrigued on the cash flow side that I can get now, regardless of any equitable appreciation. So I was really intrigued by that. Pretty much what I learned from that space, it just overall made me a better real estate investor and understanding creative finance. And also, for those of you that will see the show, but getting a financial calculator, HP makes them, but you can get you a financial calculator to that has amortization schedules and stuff all built in that can show your cash flow. So that was really my story and how I got started. And from there, of course, when you're in it, going through meeting with other people, they have notes and assets for sale, and that's why they're there. So they have their agenda. And so there was a gentleman that brokered a bundle of notes to me and a partner. And, we invested in first position mortgage notes that were already paying. They were once in default, and then they started paying again. So that's called a reperforming note. And so we bought a small package of that. And then from there, we bought some that weren't paying. So those would have been non-performing when they're not paying. and then after that, a third layer to the movie, started investing in a non-performing second position note, or a non-performing junior lien. Sometimes people refer to them, many different words for that, but think of a second mortgage, a HELOC, line of credit. And so we started buying those as well. And so kind of ran through the whole gamut. And then when the market shifted, started creating our own notes. So a lot of people don't know you can do that, right? You can, if you got a rental property, you can actually note your way out of it. And what that means is just, create a note, and then, sell that note in terms to a homeowner. And so now you become the bank and not the landlord.
And
so
Aaron,
anyways, that was,
and a lot of those creative financing and things like that, a lot of those things that are creatively done by note investors, debt investors, real estate investors, all in kind of combo. I think all that's going to get more and more popular very soon, right, Aaron? Because all these interest rates and the regulations on qualifying for commercial loans at banks and things, it's getting tightened up. And I think that the creative options for people, like you said, seller financing and creating a note if you want to get out of a rental property, but keeping the monthly cash flow, which is, brings me to my point, Aaron. Like, your top three things, if you could think off the cuff. I love hitting my guests with things off the cuff, but top three reasons why investing in debt, investing in promissory notes backed by physical real estate. What's the top three reasons why you think most people should really have this in their portfolio and understand how to invest in mortgage notes? Top three reasons why.
Well, one is cash flow, and you can equate that to, hey, I'm looking for a certain yield or rate on my investment dollars. So a lot of people that invest in stocks, bonds, and mutual funds, let's just call it Wall Street type investments, they're looking for yield, right? And they typically anywhere from 3 to 8%, kind of that 5 to 6% historically. If you just kind of stuck with the S&P 500, I guess, that's as it goes, the ebbs and flows of it, that's what you're kind of looking for. And so when you typically invest in notes, you're looking for above average yields to beat what Wall Street has. So you're, those above average yields and cash flow. And then the third piece is it's a real asset. The security behind that note is the real property itself. And so you're kind of getting the best of all things, of, great cash flow, potentially better than average returns than you would get with, Wall Street, and there's security behind it, so those would be my top.
You heard it, folks. I mean, the top three things, that's why notes are so cool, and everybody should really understand how to invest in these mortgage notes. You got monthly cash flow, you got a better than normal yield, and you have something that's secure. It's backed by a real asset, folks. So we're going to talk more about how using a self-directed IRA and maybe buying some of these notes in your IRA could really, really skyrocket your retirement. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back in just a few minutes.
The toughest part in the lending process is patience. Like I tell all my clients, once you get those keys in hand, it'll all be worth it.
Everything that they said they were going to do, they did. I saved so much money working with First Lending Solutions. I love my new house. I couldn't be happier.
So reach out to me at First Lending Solutions so I can help you get started.
You can contact Defina Miller with First Lending Solutions at 951-973-0123, definamillermortgage.com.
Fire Up Connect is the most innovative business networking group, supporting and collaborating with a dozen of small businesses that are interested in building and establishing strong business connections, hosting educational live seminars while carrying out business and community-driven projects, as well as marketing programs as a part of its membership program. Fire Up Connect also offers virtual assistance with a wide range of services, including inbound customer support, chat support, appointment setting and email management, graphic designing, video editing, web design and development, social media marketing, e-commerce solution, content writing, and much more. For more information, head on over to www.fireupconnect.com. Fire Up Connect, helping success stories unfold every day.
of Real Estate.
Men of Real Estate radio show here on KCAA.
Boats, mortgages can be purchased.
All of us want to live in thriving communities.
Basically, go to the radio station, KCAAradio.com.
You can find us on your dial at 102.3 FM, 1050 AM, as well as 106.5 FM.
Oh, hey, folks. Hey, welcome back to the Real Men of Real Estate radio show here on KCAA Radio. Patrick Franz, the Note Mentor. Of course, I'm back here with Aaron Halderman from Directed IRA. Good friend of mine, great colleague of mine, does good business for everybody I've ever sent his way. And what we were just talking about, folks, is with all of Aaron's experience and education, as he mentioned in the first part of this show, he gravitated towards note investing. And the reason why, and we were just summarizing this, Aaron, right, was because there's three main things you get with note investing. And it's hard to get these three things all in one place in most other investments. And what are those three things again, Aaron?
So cash flow, cash flow now, better than average, you hope, yield on your investment. Typically 8% plus would be ideal that you could structure. And then you have security, you have collateral, that's backing that note is the real estate behind it. So that's the beautiful thing.
And, it's those three things that are very difficult to find in one place. And I've written a whole list of other investments, from rental properties to stock market investing to cryptocurrencies there's so many different things I've written down on a piece of paper. And when you can have something that's secured by an actual asset, folks, it means that your investment has collateral. That's the difference between some crypto investments and stock market investments, is all of a sudden in 3 days, you can lose half of it and you can't do nothing about it. It's not in your control. And so, you have something that's securitized and has collateral, and the collateral is a single family home, in essence, the way Aaron and I do it. And so you have lots of exit strategies. You have cash flow, monthly cash flow, folks, that can supplement your lifestyle or that you can utilize to compound. Right. And compounding your investment and your interest earning interest is the way the wealthy build wealth. Right. And it's got usually a better than average yield. Right. Because we're talking about people that are, used to making 2, 3, 4, 5%. And I got to tell you, Aaron, when I started helping people invest their individual retirement account money with me years and years ago, when I was in a totally different business. All right. But self-directed IRA money coming in to invest into things on the secondary market. Well, it was amazing for me to see, Aaron, that a lot of these folks, first of all, didn't even know where the money was invested, in which it was their IRA account, right? They had $100,000 in their IRA account. I said, well, where's it invested? I have no idea. It's in charge. Somebody's in charge of it at my company, and it's diversified in some big giant mutual fund somewhere, such. So you don't even know where that's invested. Do you have any control over it? No. You have any control over your return? No. I said, let's look at your return over the last couple of years. What have you been getting? And man, this is back years ago, right? But it was still, I was looking 2.4%.
Yeah, all those junk fees, they fee you to death.
Yeah, 2.4% for the year. So you're making 2.4% on your money. I said the only reason that account's really growing is because you keep on contributing to it out of your pay.
And a company match. Right?
Yeah. So let's talk about this, Aaron. People have individual retirement accounts out there. Some people don't even know that they can self-direct that money. Can you talk about what that means and why that might be an advantage for people to do if they know what they're doing?
Yeah. So there are certain retirement accounts that are approved, or investments that are approved by the IRS to use with a self-directed individual retirement arrangement, is what it is. And, you can have a Roth IRA, a traditional IRA. Basically, the difference there is Roth is tax-free, and the traditional, you're going to pay tax when you start taking a distribution for that. You have some small business type plans like a SEP, or a simple, or a solo 401k, which we'll touch on briefly. And then also you have some other cool accounts like the Coverdell Education Savings Account, and also HSAs. And what a self-directed IRA is it's you're making the investments yourself. hopefully it doesn't offend any viewers or their taste, but I just use an example because it's a funny skit, and I got a bunch of staff that have shared it with me before. But there's an episode on South Park, and you just pull it up in YouTube, and they go with their, one of the characters goes into the bank with their dad to open a bank account, and and then they're gonna put the bank account and use some of the money in the checking and savings account to then go into investments. And so they go in and open it up, and they say, okay, great. So what we're going to do here is going to make a $500 deposit, and put it in your checking account, and then we're going to move it over to your savings account. Then we're going to invest it into a money market mutual fund, or a money market account. It's going to be invested in mutual funds, and it's gone. And they're like, next, please, like customer in line. They're like, what do you mean? Like, where's my money? Like it's gone. And the purpose of that skit was just like what you're saying, Patrick. A lot of times when you're at an employer, right, you have minimal control as to what it's being invested in. And it's typically in stocks, bonds, and mutual funds. And this the purpose of this is not to like shit on that, or talk bad about that, because I have some of that as well. But the purpose of a self-directed IRA is you can diversify into stuff that actually has some collateral behind it, like real estate or notes. Like if you ever called up Fidelity or Schwab or TD and say, hey, great, I got this rental property in my neighborhood. I want to use like some of my money in my IRA account or my 401k account. And they're like, what are you talking about? No, like you can't do that. And we're like, well, how do I do that? Well, insert a self-directed IRA. And so what a lot of people don't know is, when you're at, let's just say you work at Boeing. My father worked at Boeing for years. When you're working at Boeing, you typically don't have access to get any of that 401k money to self-direct, to do real estate, or do note investing, or invest in the next private company before it goes public, right? But if you left a previous employer, let's say my dad before that worked at Raytheon. Well, he left Raytheon and then went to Boeing. That money in the 401k that he had in Raytheon, he can actually take that money, all of it if he wants, and put it into a self-directed IRA, and that's called a rollover. And it still has the same tax protection that the 401k has. And it's a beautiful thing, because guess what now you can do? You can go invest in real estate, buy notes, invest in a private company, purchase precious metals, even do crypto if you want. So, but, our focus here is in notes and real estate, but it allows you to self-direct your retirement account. And so it's pretty awesome. And these companies, these self-directed IRA companies, they're licensed, regulated, audited, have examinations, just like banks and credit unions. So they actually have a trust license that allows them to take custody of the retirement accounts, and that's why those institutions exist. So again, bank, credit union, trust company, you can self-direct an IRA with a trust company in any state. It's awesome.
And I heard you talking about, right? And I know you're saying, you can invest in crypto, you can invest in rental properties, real physical real estate, notes, whatever you want. That's the idea, folks, when it's self-directed. Mm-hmm. And so the reason why many professionals don't recommend that you self-direct your IRA is because most people don't have financial intelligence and will squander their IRA money investing in their buddy's taco shop that fails or something. Okay. And so we're recommending like that. That's why I brought Aaron on the show. And I like the combination of the two, right, folks? So if you can take your retirement money and you can self-direct it, means you're allowed to invest it in something that you want in the secondary market. It doesn't have to be stocks or a mutual fund. You can invest it in something like a mortgage note. We just talked about earlier in the show here, folks, why is it cool? Because mortgage notes provide security and collateral, monthly cash flow. Of course, if it's going back into your IRA, it's not going to be supplementing your lifestyle, but that cash flow is going in tax-free every month and building up your IRA with monthly cash flow. And it's usually, folks, if you know about note investing and you're in the game properly, you're usually getting a better than normal yield on your money. And so that's why I like the combination of the two, right, Aaron? You can take IRA money, invest it in something that's secure, but that has a higher than normal rate of return, folks. So it's like this. If you have 20 years left before you get to retire and you want to suck on that money to survive, it could be the difference literally with compounding in a 20-year time period. The difference of you making 2.5% per year for the next 20 years in your existing IRA, or self-directing it and maybe getting 10 or 12 or something like that yearly. And you look at that over 20 years, folks, you could retire with $300,000 to your name or $1 million to your name. It's a big difference. And do you agree though that is a great combo, Aaron? And that's why you've helped a lot of my students, a lot of my clients from the Note Investor University that we send to you to help them to do those rollovers with their old IRAs that they have from the company, whatever. And then I help them. Of course, as you know, it's a team effort. You help them get their IRA money ready, and I help them find really good note investments so they can grow that retirement. And man, folks, it's just a fantastic combo. What else can you say about it, right, Aaron?
You have to, so many great points. Like, when you self-direct, you typically have an investment in mind. So, one of our mantras and slogans is invest in what you know. Well, we all pretty much know real estate and how it works. And then we're learning here about note investing as well, and what that can provide. But I mean, imagine having something in your retirement account that you're just getting that monthly payment. And there's no junk fees or hidden fees or advisory fees baked into that. Like my father retired off of that. He has some mortgage notes. That's what pays him, interest income. And it's all tax protected. So tax free in a Roth, or you're paying tax on it later if it's in a traditional, tax deferred type account. So it's an amazing thing, like that money. And then you can take that distribution to live off of. Yeah. Imagine having a dozen or so notes that are throwing off like $5-6 grand a month in cash flow, and you're, and it's protecting your principal, because you're getting typically a principal and interest payment all back. And so when you get that back, then that principal and interest, the interest is what you're living off of. That's that cash flow, that better than average yield you're hoping to get to be some investments you have in Wall Street and diversified, but you're also getting the principal back, and it hasn't gone down. So now you get to reinvest it. Oh my gosh.
Let me ask you this, Aaron. If somebody wants to hear more about your dad's story, what are they going to have to do? They're going to have to wait a minute, folks, because we're going on a commercial break. Real Men of Real Estate radio show. We'll be right back with my guest, Aaron Halderman, to talk more about how you can be like his dad and retire comfortably using your IRA and mortgage notes. Don't go anywhere. See you in a minute, folks.
The toughest part in the lending process is patience. Like I tell all my clients, once you get those keys in hand, it'll all be worth it.
Everything that they said they were going to do, they did. I saved so much money working with First Lending Solutions. I love my new house. I couldn't be happier.
So reach out to me at First Lending Solutions so I can help you get started.
You can contact Defina Miller with First Lending Solutions at 951-973-0123, definamillermortgage.com.
Choose power today and help us create a cleaner planet. Over the past years, utility prices have rapidly increased. Power provides home energy solutions that would save money. Power is the world's first virtual solar company that aims to adopt sustainable energy worldwide. Our company delivers low-cost, clean, and reliable energy solutions. The solar investment allows you to become eligible for an income tax credit. The solar investment is a great way to provide long-term value. Power is the first solar company that reduces carbon footprint for a cleaner environment. Power is experienced and one of the fastest growing solar companies in the United States, which provide the best solutions according to your needs. Call today for your free solar consultation. Join us as one of our ambassadors and earn $1,000. Earn $1,000 when the installation is completed. Free sign up at www.power.com/marie.waite/ambassador. Feel good about what powers your life. Marie Waite, your solar consultant. 951-378-5316. Enjoy your life with solar.com.
Real Men of Real Estate.
Men of Real Estate radio show here on KCAA.
Notes, mortgages can be purchased.
All of us want to live in thriving communities.
Basically, go to the radio station KCAA radio.com.
You can find us on your dial at 102.3 FM, 1050 AM, as well as 106.5 FM.
All righty, folks. Welcome back to the Real Men of Real Estate radio show here on KCAA Radio. And this is the Note Mentor. That's right. Patrick Franz, the Note Mentor. I'm back. I've got Aaron Halderman, good friend, good colleague from Directed IRA. He's been helping us understand why individual retirement account investing, self-directed that is, retirement account investing, in combination with mortgage notes, can really set you free financially. Not only can it help you set you free financially, it can help retire you comfortably, and it can help you leave a better legacy to your kids and your grandkids. And Aaron was just talking about his dad's story right before we went to break. And he was saying how his father now in his older years is living very comfortably, and he has tons of monthly cash flow coming in very passively because he owns, folks, a lot of these mortgage notes. So Aaron, let's continue with a little bit of that and get into how your dad did that and how Directed IRA can help other people do the same thing.
All right. So 2012, 2013, we're at a conference. It's actually one of the conferences that I used to do, and, still attend, and it's in the note space. And there was a speaker talking about self-directed IRAs and how you can invest in real estate and notes. And he had a book. It's called the Self-Directed IRA Handbook. For those of you that are listening, those of you that are watching, the Self-Directed IRA Handbook, and it was written by attorney Matt Sorensen. You can check that on Amazon or go to his website. And my dad was just super impressed, as was I. So we got the book, we started going through it and learning all these cool strategies and structures that gives us a little bit more control and speed through what's called a checkbook IRA LLC structure, or a solo 401k structure that gives you a checking account in the name of your LLC, where the IRA is a member of it, and you can do deals. And so my dad just thought it was like the holy grail of all investing, because he's like, oh my gosh, like I got this, huge retirement that's still being administered, by the railroad company that I was with, and I can now take some of that out. He's got some whole life policies, he's got stocks and bonds, mutual funds, precious metals, his 401k that's administered by Fidelity. He's like, let me just get some of that money and let's go do some real estate and notes with it, get my cash flow going. And that was it. We had to find a self-directed IRA company. We vetted a few to work with, and they're not all alike. At the end of the day, I think you get measured as a company as a whole. Everybody kind of talks about, client experience, and I totally agree with that. But in that is a huge thing, and you want competent people on the other end of the phone walking you through it. But ultimately, you get graded on when you complete something. So like with a self-directed IRA, it starts with getting an account open, getting funds over into the account, from that your current IRA company or that 401k rollover. So now you got an account open, you got money in the account. Now I'm ready to make the investment, ladies and gentlemen. So you finally make that investment. Let's say it's in real estate notes, and now everything's completed. The issue, though, is guess what? The custodian has to review that investment paperwork, and not all of them do it in a timely manner. And so you could imagine if you had a deal in the hopper ready to go, and you got a deadline, and you got the dang custodian, they're like, yeah, didn't pass through compliance, got to go up, got to take another look at it. You could miss out on that deal. So ultimately, one of the things that, you're graded on is how quick are you, how competent is the team that's approving, processing investments, and what the timelines are for it. And so that's one of the things that at directedira.com, we really excel in. with, decades of experience. The CEO of the company also is hands-on and reviewing the investment documents. And then you're also looking at pricing. Because it's an alternative investment and that you're self-directing, you don't want to like be paying these crazy fees. So, we structured a fee schedule that's just a couple $100 a year and $50 one time to do the investment. That's it. It's like the easiest thing in the world to remember. Other custodians, they charge based on how much money is in your retirement or how many investments you're making, and they charge that on an annual basis. That's kind of bull crap. Like that doesn't serve, that serves like the company, and I totally get that, but that doesn't serve like the self-directed investor that wants to do that. So because then they got to start running analysis like, oh, how much is this going to cost if I'm paying these fees? And all I want to do is a real estate deal. So
I got to tell you, that's why, folks, that I love directed. That's why I personally like directed IRA, because, you got Aaron, his father was investing and intelligent, and pass that to Aaron. Aaron's been a professional note investor for years, ever since the mortgage meltdown, and really had success in that business. Went over to the IRA, working with Matt Sorensen, who literally wrote the book on self-directed IRA investing. Oh. And you got a combination of team members over there, folks, that understand how to use self-directed IRA funds to close on really juicy mortgage note investments, the ones I like, okay, and do it in a timely fashion. And these are people, folks, that have a background in mortgage note investing. They know exactly what you're doing. They know the exact process and everything you're going through. And so they not only know how to set your accounts up properly, roll the money over quickly with your other IRA custodians, but like you said, when you need to close on one of these note deals, guys, sometimes you need to wire the money in 3 days. And you got to get the paperwork to the IRA company. You got to get the money ready. And boy, some people take a week or so, or 2 weeks to get you your money. And all of a sudden you lost out on a great investment because of the timing. And they know that, and they work very hard on that over there. Right, Aaron?
Yeah, you got to, you bring up another really good point. We get asked all the time, well, when do I get started? How do I get started? Well, the answer is now, because you got to open an account, get money into the account, and then you're ready to make the investment. You don't do it in reverse order, like, oh, I got an investment, it closes in 3 days, and be like, okay, but you didn't open an account, you don't have money in that IRA to even do that. So like, let's slow down there, Turbo. Like, we got to take a step back and like start, we got to get the account open, money in the account, then we're going to invest the account. And you got to work with people that are competent, that know all the paperwork that's involved here, that is to go through the approval process. So when you're working with Patrick, in his group, and you're going to do a deal, they know the documents that are going to be required by the custodian to get approved on that deal. And that's one of the advantages you have in working with a professional note investing group. We don't need the originals, but we need copies of them. So we don't need the physical, but we need copies of them, and they got to be in order. You got to have assignments and allonges and, the originals. And so all that good stuff, or else like the deal can't happen.
People just went, what did he just say? So guys, he's talking about assignments and allonges and things. These are legal documents that transfer ownership of these type of investments and stuff. But like, we're not going to get over their head, right? Because the people listening to the show really don't know much. If you want to know more about note investing, right, go to noteinvestoruniversity.com and check us out, because we teach people how to become a pro note investor very quickly, very efficiently, very affordably. But that's neither here nor there, right? Note Investor University will teach you what you need to know, how to go and buy these notes. But you're going to need somebody like directed. You're going to need Aaron and Matt over there directed, these guys, to help you set it up, right? Get that old stanky, stagnant retirement account that's been making you 2% over, that's invested with Joe Schmo that's managing those funds for you. Oh gosh, get it the heck out of there, right? And guys, things diversified across the stock market may at some point soon here be very much in trouble. We're looking at financial collapse. And so when people are invested in things like stocks, their IRA can be cut in half. I remember that people used to say, well, my 401k is now only a 201k. And they were joking, but it was real, right? This has happened. The economy is cyclical. Things go up, things go down, things go up, and we're ready for a down cycle. So I'm telling people too, while it's still up, while you have your profits, while everything's looking juicy still, before it starts to climb down the ladder, before it starts to shoot down, folks, get with somebody like Aaron and Directed. get over there, get your IRA money out of something that's volatile, out of something that could get squished, and get it into a real asset protected investment with a good yield and monthly cash flow. Why not, right? But let me ask you this. We know that they can go to the website. What was the website again for Directed, if they just want to go visit the website?
directedira.com, and in the upper right hand corner you can schedule a free 30-minute call, 15 or 30 minutes with an IRA specialist, one of our senior account reps here at Directed IRA. You can also see our pricing schedule, so you see all the fees. It's super simple. Again, directedira.com, upper right hand corner, schedule a new account, look at our pricing, and you'll be off to the races. And we're always happy to help. You can read our reviews on Google. We have over 400 5-star Google reviews, and you can check that out as well and hear what people have to say in the process, and we'll be sure and take good care of you and get the job done for sure.
We've got firsthand experience with that, folks. So he's not just tooting his own horn. He's not tooting his own horn, folks. We've got firsthand experience of sending several students of ours from the Note Investor University over to Directed and having wonderful feedback, wonderful experiences with their group, and then getting their IRA money invested into a mortgage note, folks.
Yes.
A mortgage note, it's going to be secured by real estate. It's going to come with monthly cash flow. It's going to have a better than normal yield, and it's not subject to major market crashes, right? So here's what I always tell people, Aaron. It's kind of cool, right? If the stock market crashes tomorrow by 50%, the amount of monthly mortgage payment that somebody pays to their mortgage lender every month doesn't change, does it?
Stays the same.
What if their house value drops, their house value and all of their equity that they used to have just disappears, and the whole real estate market? Does it matter? Does their mortgage payment every month stay the same? And so, folks, that's why it's so cool. And that's why you go to directedira.com and book a free consultation in the upper right-hand corner of their website, so you can talk to these experts on how maybe you can put your individual retirement account money to work in an investment that is going to pay you dividends over time here while most other markets crash and dwindle. And we're going to talk more about Directed and the Note Investor University right after this commercial break here on KCAA Radio. Don't go anywhere, folks. Be right back.
The toughest part in the lending process is patience. Like I tell all my clients, once you get those keys in hand, it'll all be worth it.
Everything that they said they were going to do, they did. I saved so much money working with First Lending Solutions. I love my new house. I couldn't be happier.
So reach out to me at First Lending Solutions so I can help you get started.
You can contact Defina Miller with First Lending Solutions at 951-973-0123, definamillermortgage.com.
Real Men of Real Estate.
Men of Real Estate Radio show here on KCAA.
Notes mortgages can be purchased.
All of us want to live in thriving communities.
Basically, go to the radio station KCAA radio.com.
You can find us on your dial at 102.3 FM, 1050 AM, as well as 106.5 FM.
Alrighty, folks. Hey, thank you for hanging in tight while those commercials were blasted right at you from our wonderful sponsors. We're right back here on KCAA. This is the Real Men of Real Estate Radio show. Patrick Franz, the Note Mentor. We talk about note investing on my show. And today I have Aaron Halderman from Directed IRA. And we've been talking about all sorts of wonderful stuff, folks, on how you can self-direct your IRA money, how you can avoid some of these market turndowns, stock market crashes, real estate market crashes that seem to be pending, and get your money in some place that's secure, spits off monthly cash flow, and has a higher than normal yield, and keep your money over there for a while, if not forever, like some of us do. It is such a great combination to get individual retirement account funds self-directed under your control, be able to put those dollars to work in mortgage note investing. And I love the combination. I have preached for a while that Directed IRA with Matt Sorensen and Aaron Halderman is one of the better organizations in the entire universe to help people understand this combination in this game of how you can be like Aaron's father and retire comfortably and have monthly cash flow coming in to supplement your lifestyle and leave a better financial legacy for your family. And that's what most people want. But if you're playing the itsy bitsy spider game and your portfolio is going up, 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 up for 5 or 8 years and then down 70%, and then up, 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 up and down, it's very difficult to plan a 20 to 25 year retirement properly. And how can you judge how much money you're going to have to survive on in your golden years? We're showing you a plan where you can take your self-directed IRA money, you can get it under your control, put it into mortgage notes, and you can avoid being broke when you're older. You can avoid having to go, nothing against people that still have to hustle, but you can avoid having to go work at Walmart as a door greeter when you're 81 because you can't survive. And that's what we don't want. We're trying to teach you guys a plan here. Use your IRA funds to invest into mortgage notes, get security, get cash flow, get higher than normal yield, and compound the money that these notes are bringing into your IRA and buy more and more of them over the next 20 years. And you'll be amazed at what can happen to your wealth and to your retirement, to your family's future, right, Aaron? And so they can use Directed IRA. Go to directedira.com if you have questions about this. And up in the upper right-hand corner of the directedira.com website, there's a place where you can schedule time to get a free consultation about this. If you're out there sitting on an IRA and you're thinking, oh my goodness, my IRA, my 401k, it's going to get eaten up here soon, because you know, and you can feel that there's turmoil in the markets and that the stock market and the real estate market may have a severe crash. And if you don't want to be a part of that, you got to get your money self-directed and put it into something like a mortgage note investment and stand confident knowing your money is going to grow and that you have security and protection there. So if they want to understand the opportunity, right? Because there was a huge opportunity happened on the secondary market with mortgage note investing after the mortgage meltdown in 2008, because a lot of mortgage notes flooded the market for purchase, to be able to be purchased by investors. I have the same sentiment. I think that a lot of this coming from COVID, the foreclosure and eviction moratoriums, are going to create a lot of distressed paper. And I think that it's coming this quarter and first and second quarter of next year. So I think there's a lot of opportunity for people still moving forward to be able to get into notes, become a pro, get your expertise and be ready to pull the trigger, get your IRA money over into a self-directed account with Directed IRA, with Aaron Halderman and Matt Sorensen over there, and be ready. Have your ammo in the gun, cocked, loaded, ready to pull the trigger on some of these wonderful opportunities that are going to come when, unfortunately, for some, there's going to be blood in the streets. Mm-hmm. And so, you know, the guys over at Directed, folks, they're just better at it because they've been in it. Mm-hmm. Aaron's been a note investor for years and switched over to the IRA side. He sees a lot of money. I mean, we're talking billions of dollars being
30 trillion.
Excuse me.
30. There's over $30 trillion in people's retirement accounts. Like, you know, if you when you talk to investors and you're trying to get them to do a deal with you, you know, and they go to their checking account, let's say, maybe there's like 50, 100 grand in there. And they're like, yeah, I don't have enough to do your deal. They're asking for like 200 grand or, you know, 300 grand or whatever. But if you go over to their retirement account, their 401k account that's being administered by a third party, the money's in there. That's $30 trillion plus dollars. That's like amazing. That's where it's at. And so, you know, you'll get some probably pushback, or when you look at your portfolio of your 401k and its returns, like and the fees and everything that's kind of baked in there, and some of you may have an advisor that manages, you may have some pushback of people telling you, oh, I don't know, that's a good idea, or I don't think you should do that. Like, you know, so my suggestion and opinion, this isn't advice, investment advice, but maybe peel off a small portion of it. Maybe 20% or something. Diversify out and be like, I respect your opinion. I'm going to go into something that has some collateral and security behind it. I'm going to do some mortgage note investing, do some real estate. Just take like a small sliver. And then once you see it perform, you're probably going to take a bigger chunk. And then maybe eventually all of it and self-direct. And that's kind of like the progression there. And you want to do it with a company that's licensed, regulated, audited, and not all companies are. So we're a trust company. You can pull our trust. You can look up, our licensing on the Arizona Banking Department's website. All trust companies, depending upon where they're at, have their trust info with the state banking department. And that's who, we have an annual examination with. I would steer clear of what's called a third-party administrator. That's just a go-between person that has to work with a custodian like us. So they create a company and they have to go get a relationship with a custodian. Like, why do that? Just go straight to a custodian, work with them from day one.
I'm gonna make it easy on them. Aaron. It's so simple. It's so much easier said, I think, Aaron. It's just, the fact is, if you want to get your IRA self-directed and put it into notes, there's two companies you go to. One of them is Directed IRA, and you talk to Aaron Halderman, okay? And you talk to Aaron Halderman at Directed IRA, and you have him help you out so you can get that money away from these volatile markets that are about to have a big crash and put it somewhere that's secure. But you have to know where to put that money into an investment that's secure. Where do they go for that, Aaron? They go to noteinvestoruniversity.com, right? At noteinvestoruniversity.com, we have a program for everybody. We've got a weekly mastermind group. We've got a university program that gets you from schmo to pro very quickly. We've got a master's certification program for those folks that just want to become a black belt note investor immediately and get themselves out of the stock market and get themselves into something secure. And the way you can do it, guys, again, use the combination of us, right, Aaron? Go to directedira.com. Go to directedira.com. Go to the top right corner of their website and book a free consultation so that you can discuss with them your financial plans, what you have, and how they might be able to help you get some money in the chamber, loaded, cocked, ready. And then go to noteinvestoruniversity.com. Learn how you can invest that money into mortgage notes because it's secure. It comes with monthly cash flow, and there's a better than normal yield generally, folks. And so I hope you guys enjoyed the show. We want to thank Aaron Halderman so much for coming on. Thank you so much for spending your time here on a Sunday. And, here's the funny thing, guys, I wish you the best. I want you guys to be successful. I want people to avoid these crazy crashes and be a part of the blood in the streets. And go to the noteinvestoruniversity.com, go to directedira.com, get this money invested properly, and enjoy the rest of your Sunday. This is the Real Men of Real Estate radio show, and we're out of here. See you next time.
Get all the facts, all you need to know on KCAA.